What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 23 of our Leicester Career Mode and the start of Season 2. And today we are going to look through, the window pretty much, see if we can get some players in the door and prep ourselves for the new season. It's going to be difficult this year, top four. It's essentially a priority as Dortmund have bid 28 million for Vardy. Not really happening, but 63 million pounds in the transfer budget here. I mean, we can probably shrink it down also, probably around 77 million. That's probably a good number for us. And we have a couple of positions we would like here. We got probably left wing, just a backup option, as we have Harvey Barnes, who is fit again. If we can go ahead and find him. Where is Harvey hiding? Here he is. Harvey is fit. We can play him at left wing. Probably just someone behind Harvey. Another midfielder, because Tielemans should be fit. He's not fit yet, but we would need another midfielder. A top-end center back, and the rest will come. Bertrand perhaps at left back. I would like to swap out with someone, or another right back, depending. But, a couple players here I would like to see in, couple players we would like to see out. And if we go through, I mean, we have Pratt back, who's, I think he's good enough, I suppose, to back up in this scenario. But we'll see. We're going to add, do we add Ward? We're going to add Ward and Iverson to the list, because we do want to bring in another goalkeeper as well, a younger player who can come in and take over for Schmeichel eventually. Bertrand I'll add to the list. Oh, he's retiring at the end of the season, so I guess that's not going to happen. Benkovic, I'm just going to add him to the list. We don't use him. It is what it is. We have, at the moment, Fofana, Soyuncu, Vestergaard, Benkovic at center back. I'd like to bring in another really good center back and possibly another younger center back we could possibly bring in. Chowdhury I'm going to add. He just doesn't fit with the team. A lot of players, contracts expiring in 12 months. We'll add Pratt there as well. See what kind of options we get. And this young man here, Dewsbury Hall, we're going to keep him around. But, he could do a bit of a job for us as an emergency kind of player. Carvalho obviously going to stay. And then up front here, Albrighton. I'd like keeping him around while he's here. And, of course, a couple of younger players. We can get Apaya going. Hurst can go. And, yeah, so that's kind of how we're going. We've got a couple of players on the list there. Hopefully, we can go ahead and figure something out as we go forward. But we've got a couple of players on international duty for this game here against Dortmund. We were beaten 4-2. Tough atmosphere. But, of course, just preseason. But as for players, hopefully we can bring in some really good talent. We can take a look at some of the players we're looking at right now in terms of bringing players in. Got a couple players up front. Renier would be a good option. Can play in that anywhere along the front three, really, the way we play. Between 7 and 10 million, that's a pretty good option. As for midfield, Kakare, good option. They want 29. McKennie, between 19 and 26. That's a pretty good option there. Zakaria. Yeah, I'm not going to pay 89 million for him. Isco, probably a little bit too expensive for what he offers now. And then we have Romagnoli on the list. Luis Felipe. He's at Hertha at the moment, but I believe he's at Lazio in real life. Todd Cantwell, rather cheap. We're just looking for someone who can play out there on the left. Jeremy Boga's a really cool player, but probably a little bit too expensive for what we're looking for. Quarantine Tolisso, he's in and out of that Bayern team. I'm just not sure what they think of him necessarily. This lad right here, Diogo Costa, he's actually a free agent and is someone I wanted to bring in. So let's go ahead and just approach to sign him, and we can get that backup goalkeeper into the team as just a free agent, which is it's a lot better than I would have thought. 76 overall at age 22. Pretty good spot to be in, and he only wants 36K. We're just going to do it. And now we have our backup goalkeeper in at the club, which is excellent. We might be able to get some money for the other players on the way out. Frank Kessie here on the list, a player that Wolves were possibly looking at, and a variety of other teams around Europe, but 59 million to 84 million is quite a bit. Morgan Rogers, young player at Bournemouth, between 3 and 4 million. Decent option. We may just bring him in general. Joe Gomez, someone I like, but possibly a little bit too much money for what it is. We'll see. Jurrien Timber at Ajax. I mean, he can really turn into a good player. Do we want to run with Soyuncu for another year at that rate? We'll see. Noah Lang to back up Harvey Barnes out there, but is it too much money for a player that would end up, you know, just being a backup? I'm not sure. And then Rafael Leao, 21 to 28 million. Another good option. Plenty of good options here. But we shall see what we do. I wanted to do Gomez, as I said, but Gomez moved to Real Madrid, and then, yeah, that's kind of a lot of money for Gomez. In midfield, can we bring in a player of this quality that isn't necessarily a starter? Maybe we're looking at Kakare and Weston McKennie. Those are the options there. Renier, Leao's a really good option, I think. Can play up front as well. 21 to 28 million. You know, one of those options there. Morgan Rogers is a player I quite like, and I think we might just approach to bring him in for this price. 3 to 4 million. And a player who can play for us. They want Benkovic. They're 4 million. Can I just swap them? Perhaps? Propose new transfer fee. Oh, it's 70. They just want a 4% sell-on clause? Yeah, we'll take that. Okay, so 70K and Benkovic for Rogers, which is perfectly fine. I am perfectly comfortable with that. And, yeah, not too bad. Prospect. See if he'll accept that. He's comfortable with it. 4-year deal. Comfortable with it. No release clause. He wants 20K a week. Probably going to lower that a little bit, young man. And there it is. 16K a week. And there we go. We bought in another young player here who can play on the left. A lot like Carvalho. One for the future, of course. But should turn into a good player here. We've got Luke Thomas is actually back, so we may not need left back necessarily if we can swap it out here. Tielemans. Let's just set the team up how it's going to go, regardless of who's fit or not. And then we have James Justin there, Carvalho. Rogers I'd like to bring up, make sure we know he's here. Dewsbury Hall. Seedle. I'll leave him here because I kind of want to get him some games this year. And then Costa, the backup's goalkeeper. In for Apaya, and then... who do we go up here for? We'll get Bachmann out on loan if we can. But yeah, that'll be the team for now. And it is a good team. I don't have a problem with this team whatsoever. And I know it's very similar to... It is the first team pretty much when we pick up the career mode, but... Some good options there. Some really, really good options. And players are growing into positions and stuff like that. So it's going to be one of those years where, you know, we're kind of pushing forward. If we can get Daka a ton more game time up front. Vardy's kind of starting to tail off. You expect this to be his last year, really. But he is still very, very good as he scored there. Bertrand Iheanacho also scoring as we beat Sao Paulo 3-1. But I'm also expecting large bids to come in for a variety of our players, so depending on how things go, we shall see, as Tielemans is back, which is excellent. And we are moving forward as we have a game here against NYCFC, a win here, and we are through into the semifinal, get a little bit more money in as an offer's come in for Harvey Barnes. Not the type of player I'm looking to get rid of necessarily, especially for that price. They're going to have to overpay, if they want to get him out of this club. So we'll see how these bids come in as we beat them 3-2. Vardy, Anthony, and Iheanacho came on for Barnes before halftime. That is worrying. Hope Barnes is not hurt again. He's just come back from a broken toe. Offer comes in for Pratt, and doesn't look like anything's happened. So 12 million from Everton. We'll just delegate it a little bit, but I am comfortable with 12. Just a little bit of extra money in for a player who wasn't part of our team really at all. So that's fine. Offer come in for Tielemans. 69 million from Liverpool. Offers come in for Chowdhury. I'm just going to accept that. And we're going to reject that offer from Liverpool for Tielemans. Tielemans is a good player. Around 100 million, I might think about it. But, you know, we shall see. And there's an offer for Timber. I really like Timber. There's a player I really would have wanted to bring in. Do we want to bring him in ahead of some of the center backs here? Yeah, let's try it. Let's go ahead and bring Timber in. Let's bring Urian Timber into the club. See if we can grow him into a top tier center back. They want the 27. Yeah, they're non-negotiable for 27. That's fine. We'll bring him in. Negotiate our deal for him. He only wants to be sporadic, which is fine. He'll probably play more than that, but that's what he wants to be. And we'll accept no release clause. And now his salary is something we're going to have to come up with. Let's see if he accepts 30K. He wants 35. Perfectly fine. In he comes, Urian Timber into the club. And we have ourselves a new center back now. I would like another center back still. And I'd be comfortable with letting Vestergaard leave. Vestergaard's a player I like in real life, not a player that works too well in-game, which is the problem with Vestergaard. It has nothing to do with anything he does. It's not like he's not a good player. He's just not a good player for FIFA, which is problematic. So, you know, it is what it is, but unfortunately that is the case. As we win that game there, 2 from Barnes, 1 from Ndidi. As we move into the final of our preseason tournament, get a little bit of money in. And it will be Dortmund in the final again, as we played Dortmund to start, and they beat us rather easily first time around. As Chowdhury, 6.8 gone. Sampdoria have offered Torregrossa, 30-year-old striker. We're just going to reject this. Pretend that didn't get sent in. Ridiculous offer. But let's see if we can grab a win, as an offer has come in, and Everton are willing to pay 15.5 for Dennis Pratt. And that's more money coming our way. Okay, weird jump cut there, but we're back here. And Danny Ward, Brentford have offered for 2.2 million. It is what it is. I'm comfortable just letting Danny Ward go. And, you know, there's not much more to say about it. We'll let him go. Unavailable players just for this match. And we've got Dortmund here, and they beat us 2-0. Vardy misses a penalty, and it's tough. It's a tough situation to go ahead and grab something there. But we grab a little bit of money getting to the final here, as Dortmund beat us in that final. And hopefully we can use that money for something good, as Pratt is gone. 13 million put into the budget. We're going to check the budget right now, see what we're looking at in terms of money. 72 million. So let's go ahead and take a look at the transfer hub and what we want to do at left wing. We also want to do something at center back. I really do, but I'm not sure what. And then we still need to do something in midfield, so we'll hold off on those things for now. But we're definitely going to need someone behind behind Barnes, and Leao is probably where I'm leaning. Boga, I really like. Boga was probably my guy, but, you know, unfortunately, that price tag is just not going to work out here. We can get the same price tag for Leao, who's still got room to grow. We're going to go ahead and try it. Noah Lang was someone I considered as well, but his price tag's a little bit higher than I would have liked as well. So let's jump in and see if we can grab Leao here and bring him into the club. Try 22 million for the left winger, and they're comfortable with that. All right, well, all right, there we go. Easier than we would have liked, or you would have imagined. Not too bad. And let's see, he wants rotation. That's fine. That's perfect. 5-year deal. How about that? Comfortable with it. Disregard release clause. He's on 36,000 pounds over there. Let's see if we can get him 40. See what he says. He wants 59. See if we can just bring him down from there. See if we can get to 50. He wants 59. That's fine. All right. Well, good negotiating, I guess. Bring him in. But there we go. Winger comes in. And it is Rafael Leao. And now we have someone who can play behind... behind Harvey Barnes up there. I want to bring him onto the bench as well. What do we want to bring him on here for? Mendy? We're really going to need that other midfielder, you would feel. We'll bring him in for Nketiah, I suppose, when it happens. But, you know, not too bad of an option for the moment. So there he is, Rafael onto the bench. We really do need another midfielder. And that's probably, for me, more important than center back right now. I don't mind Soyuncu, as an offer's come in for Ricardo Pereira for 33 million. It's just not high enough. But yeah, I don't mind using Soyuncu again at center back. I like Soyuncu. So an offer's come in for Mendy. And we're going to go ahead and accept it from Bruges. And hopefully, we have enough players here. Now, that's the problem currently we're going to have in midfield. We may need to bring in another, perhaps. But if we take a look at the squad, in terms of midfield, Madison, Ndidi, Tielemans. And then we have Eze, Samare, and that's where we need someone behind Tielemans. And then in terms of emergency, we have Carvalho, Dewsbury Hall. So just bringing in another midfielder and perhaps a deeper one as an emergency. That seems pretty good. In terms of money, we have 51 million here. So perhaps price becomes a big point here. And I think that means Weston McKennie, who I like. It's a good player. Definitely not upset with it. Let's bring him in from Juventus. I didn't check the price they had there, which is problematic. I believe it was 19 million, so we'll go with 20. See what they think. They want 23.9. That's fine. We're just going to accept that. 23.9 million for Weston McKennie, the American, bringing him in from Italy. Sporadic, that's fine. And he's this very similar type of position when it comes to Tielemans as well, which is what we like to see. The problem is currently he's on a decent amount of money over there in Turin. And he just wants an extra bonus. That's fine. He can have the bonus. And in he comes. So midfield is set. And that is what we like to see. Now, where is good old McKennie? Down here. Got a lot of players all of a sudden. Mendy's about to leave, so we'll bring McKennie over here. And there he is. So Weston McKennie to sit behind Tielemans onto the bench here. And our bench is looking pretty good. A lot better all of a sudden, our bench. As we have a couple of players here who are very, very good. And now what do we... The only thing we need possibly is a top-tier center back. And then that's probably all we're looking for. As I said, I would have liked Gomez. I don't think that's going to necessarily happen because we only have 27 million pounds left. Though our wage budget's in a good spot for the moment. If we can get to the 34 million, but that's probably just not going to do it in the end. Let's go to transfers, transfer hub. And now it becomes an issue of price. 36 to 51 for Romagnoli, 30 to 42 for Felipe. So we may hold off just a little bit here. 55 to 80 for Joe Gomez. We may just hold off on that. See if we might get bids coming in for other players. It depends on how things are going to go as we move in and go forward. Offer $2.9 million for Iverson. We're going to accept it. Backup goalkeepers are gone. Wages are gone. Not exactly a ton of money coming in for them, but irrelevant really as Mendy's offers have broken down, and Napoli have offered Lobotka, and see, Castagna is one of those players I'm comfortable letting go if we get good money back. I want to delegate this. Player swap none. Start offer at 44. Let's see what they say. 44. Castagna was exposed quite a bit in the end of that season for me, especially with pacey players. But as I said, it's not something I have an issue with if he were to go, and if we were to keep him around to start, that's not an issue with me either. It just depends on the money, I suppose, as Iverson has been sold. A couple million coming into the club there. 37 million is probably not enough to make me move him on, which, you know, is what it is. But we're moving forward, and today we're not going to get any games done as we approach 25 minutes on this video, but it's been a good day. As we take a look at our youth squad, and we've got some good players in here. This lad right here, Machado, at left back. That's one of those things too. Can we possibly? There's also, I mean, this lad right here, Ferreira as well, 65 overall, can play left back or right back. Do we promote a player like Ferreira and just get him game time over there on the left-hand side, and then just slowly work him ahead of Castagna after a year or so? At the moment, we have Luke Thomas and Castagna, but he can also be... Let's just go ahead and promote this young man to the squad for a moment. Ferreira. And let's take a look at him. We're going to move him up ahead of Bachmann, up ahead of Bertrand. But I also don't want to lose him out here, so we'll put him up here. Probably ahead of Costa. And now Ferreira's here, so if we can work him into the squad at 50 or 65 overall already for the young man, can we grow him into a top-tier player quickly enough? Maybe to get him next year, or at least, you know, pass him up in front of somebody next year. That could be a good option. Could be a good option as we head forward, but everything depends on how it goes day by day here. Nothing is for certain, including player growth. But, you know, we'll have to take it as it comes. But we're approaching the first day of the Premier League. It should be on Saturday. It'll be against Brighton. But we will not be playing that today, guys. So that is probably going to be it for the episode, as we are not going to get any offers or anything like that in, as Fofana wants to play. But, yeah, so it's not going to... We're not going to play any more games today. We're going to end it there, but we did all of our transfer stuff, essentially. Looking to bring one more center back in, but the team hasn't changed a ton, but it's still morphing. It got deeper. And hopefully we can make a run at top 4 this year, guys. But that is going to be it. I hope you folks have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.